Hi, and welcome to another episode of Flippin' Rich. Peter Vekselman, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks, Julie.
You know, today I want to talk about a phenomenon called imposter syndrome. And really the best way for me to describe it is to just give you the Wikipedia definition, and we're going to talk about it, how it affected us and how, maybe it could stop you from feeling that way. So, imposter syndrome is a psychological occurrence in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. Despite external evidence of their competence, those experiencing this phenomenon do not believe they deserve their success or their luck. So summarized up, Peter, what do you feel like imposter syndrome is?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Julie. This business lends itself to imposter syndrome. Because let's face it, most of us who get in this business, if you think about it, can't even afford to buy the things we're telling people we want to buy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know when you got started, you didn't have like 300 grand to go out there and buy houses, but I remember you on the phone. Hey, we want to buy your house, your house. When I got started, I couldn't really, just lay out the money to do that. So this business really lends itself to imposter syndrome. I guess the best way to kind of describe it, aside from a technical definition, it's like you feel like you're out of place. You feel like you're out of place. And I can honestly say, as I think about me going back when I got started many years ago, I kind of felt that not just in front of the peers of this business. I definitely felt it in front of the peers because I was the low guy in the totem pole. I was the guy that was losing money. Okay, so then that gave me even more imposter syndrome because it's like, what am I doing here? Not only am I the new kid on the block, but I'm losing. But for me, and I don't know if you've ever felt this, I even felt that when I was talking to sellers, because again, I was talking to buying, let's say, $100,000 home, but at the same time, I didn't have like $200 to my name. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, you could leverage in this business and you could borrow and all this, but really, to me, across the board, I felt it. Like I said, I felt it among my peers. The other thing is, here's the other thing that happens in this business with that kind of a syndrome. We tell people, rightfully so, network, get to know people, get people to know you. Well, guess what? Even more imposter syndrome, because who do we tell people? We don't tell people get to know all the people that are not successful in this business, right? We don't tell people don't go find all the people that lost money in real estate and get to know them. We tell people go get to know the successful guy, go network with the successful dude, go talk to somebody that's making money, and now you're kind of a newbie. I know I did, man. I definitely felt the imposter syndromes. I just felt like I didn't belong. But I guess you could say that about any rookie anywhere. I know you played sports before, and I know there's been places and teams and organizations and tournaments I've been, even in the sports arena, where I felt like, wow, this is above my head.
I definitely have. But I'll tell you, for me, it was a little bit different. I don't know that I had imposter syndrome in the beginning, right? Because, we worked together and I leveraged you from the very beginning. I mean, let's just be honest here. Where it really hurt me is even a couple of years ago. Is once I became successful, right? I almost felt like it was all going to be pulled out from underneath me at any time. Like, did I really deserve to be here? Did I really deserve the success that was coming along? And, I think a lot of that goes back to someone's self-worth, right? Like, for so long I struggled. And then when it started like, okay, I've got some good things going. We've set things up. I kept thinking I would even have dreams. I would have dreams that things would just go by the wayside. And until I realized that, you know what, at every point in my life that anything's ever went wrong, I was able to handle it, then I wasn't scared of it anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not, or we would go to events like you and I, we'd go where there'd be other people that do what we do. And I mean the big guys, right? And we're having conversations about us being there. And I would be thinking, I'm not even supposed to be here, And then I don't even really know what changed it around. Just like one day I was like, I don't even know what I'm afraid of. I mean, if you took everything away from me right now and plopped me in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, I'm going to make it.
Well, I think, I think as I listen to you, I think in this really what happens with experience comes confidence.
Yeah.
In our business, with deals comes confidence. In our business, like you said, when you're networking enough and you get around at least people that you think are bigger, you realize
They're
pretty
not.
big. Yeah, I mean, really, you do. We kind of paint this.
Like, oh my God, I saw you on TV.
Well, the crazy
Yeah.
thing is, we paint others on pedestals, unfortunately, a lot of times, and we take ourselves off the pedestal for many people.
Yeah.
So this business, but again, make a long story short, confidence comes from experience, doing deals, being successful, making money. But I think in the beginning, the imposter syndrome, kind of that feeling of I don't really belong, that feeling of,
I don't even deserve it.
I'm not good enough, I don't
Yeah.
deserve it, this is too big of a business for me. I think that's very common. It's very common. I mean, to a degree, we felt it. Like you said, you had the privilege, not the privilege, but you have the fortune of kind of working with someone more successful than you.
That's why it's important to have a mentor.
Good point. Yep.
I mean, that might be one of the greatest reasons to have a
Yeah.
mentor. I mean, if you get it, so someone like me when I was starting out like 10 years ago, we'll just be frank. I didn't go out in this business and go, you know what? I think I'll figure every bit of this business out on my own. Mm-hmm. No, I would take action. And I followed exactly what you said. Julie, make these phone calls, make these offers. I didn't need to know anything else. I was okay to be led a little bit blindly, which looking back, that was a great idea. I'm glad that I did that. So when somebody's first getting started this business, and let's say they don't have a mentor, mm-hmm. right? And there's plenty of you guys out there, and I tip my hats off to you. I commend you. How do you think having the right mentor stops someone from having these negative self-doubt talks with themselves?
Well, you hear us talk even within our own organization. We have partners that span across the United States, and obviously many of them are brand new partners, brand new to this business. And what do we always tell them all the time? Leverage off our success. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, I can't. I can't put that deal together. It's got too many moving pieces. I don't have the credibility in the marketplace. Nobody knows me, but we do. Mm-hmm. We have 22 years of experience. We have thousands and thousands of deals behind us. So I think as you're talking this through, that is probably the top way to do that, to get past this, the imposter syndrome, to get past this kind of a little bit of a pity party. Mm-hmm. That people start having that, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not smart enough.
Well, because, when you're at home and let's say someone, you're wanting to get started and maybe you have a family or you have friends. Mm-hmm. You might be the only person of your friends or your family that's going in to do something like this. Mm-hmm. So when you go at something alone, you almost put yourself in this sort of little vacuum, right? Mm-hmm. Which means all the motivation has to come through you. All of everything, the belief, all of that has to come through you. Whereas when you leverage, mm-hmm. right, with other like-minded people, then it really helps your motivation and your self-belief. I mean, kind of like, and I hate to go as far as like church, right? But there's a reason why people go to church to worship. Mm-hmm. It's obviously, in the Bible it says where two more are gathered, I'll be there. I definitely get that. But two, it's about worshiping with somebody that has like-minded interest of you.
No question.
No question. So I'm not saying the mentoring in church is the same thing. I'm saying if you look at other aspects of your life on things that are really important to you, you gather with people that believe the same. And that's super important.
Yeah.
And I know another problem that exists because I work with a lot of our partners. Like one, for instance, I'm not going to mention their name, has found a good deal of success in the last 6 to 9 months. Okay, mm-hmm. Like literally went from their full-time job, what they used to do, making a very good salary, to now being able to pay for their family and all of their expenses through real estate investing. Like, I am so proud of their success, but at least once a week, do you know what the conversation is? And I know because I've been there, is I don't know if I can keep this up. Should I go get a part-time job? Should I, you know what I mean? I don't know when the next deal's coming. I mean, I'm going to have to get a part-time job. What do you say? Because it's not just like new people in this business that feel that. When you are able to get to a point to where you step out on your own, your mindset all of a sudden just doesn't change, does it? Like, as much as you have got to learn the real estate business, you've also got to master the art of this.
No question about it. You know, it's interesting you bring that up. I was, I think, I went to a seminar this weekend, and one of the speakers, uber successful guy. Actually, he had his first sale of a business where he made $150 million, right? Ooh. But the same thing you're talking about. He said, here's what happens when you have these kind of mental blocks. You go first from, I can't do it, I won't be able to do it, it's too big. But then he said, I achieved the success. Somebody even validated by buying it, and then exactly right. And then he started thinking, did I get lucky?
That was luck.
That was lucky. Was that just a one-time shot? Am I going to spend it all? Am I going to be able to preserve it? Am I going to be able to do it again? And he said he literally got paralyzed by that fear. That, am I going to be a one-hit wonder? And that literally, with this guy, it took him backwards. It took him backwards till he was able to, again, catch it, understand it, work through it, recoup, and then, off he goes to where he is now. But yeah, the more we talk about this is a mental business, isn't it?
It's fully mental.
Yeah.
I mean, really, anything in life is fully mental. I mean, sometimes when you're working for somebody else or something like that, it's not as much, but being an entrepreneur is hard. Yeah. And just like you talk so much about working on your body, right? About physically working on your body, eating the right foods, working out. The mental part of the game, your mental health, I think is even more important than your physical health, because your mental health can deteriorate your physical health.
And it can happen quick.
And it can happen quick.
And it paralyzes people.
Yeah.
I mean, physically, you could have a broken leg, and of course that's not fun, and it's going to slow you down, and it's going to hamper you, and it's going to prevent you from doing things, but you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Mentally, you can go into one of the, and what I'm talking about, you can be going to a dark place where you become absolutely paralyzed. So whether it's the imposter syndrome, whether it's, I don't belong syndrome, whether it's, how do I make this thing work? Those are the key factors for you to think about as you're working this business, and those are the key factors that you got to work through to be successful.
Yep, absolutely. And if I had something to give you on this topic, because I've been through this before, here's the main thing. You've just got to know that you deserve it. You do deserve it. Your family deserves it. Right? Once you get past those ideas of self-doubt, don't matter what you've done in your life, you deserve it. So, try to work on that mental health, try to, not get in those, but really it all comes back to what you believe that your self-worth is. So, that's my thoughts for them today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bottom line is you're worth it. You could do it. And this business and people around you are counting on you.